objective of actually the presentation is to share with you some good practices I've been considering with Google Workspace, especially that our institution is using Google services for Google Business Suite, and recently the name has been changed to Google Workspace. My name is Adnan Habib because I'm seeing some people outside of the department or the institution, and I'm working in the computer science engineering department in YUC in the Royal Commission. We're sharing with you the link for registration for this presentation, as well as the survey. Your feedback will help us to improve the presentation in the future. I will try to go through these elements. We will speak about Google Docs, about Google Sheets, about Google Slides, a Jamboard, Google Form. I'll speak also about Google Website, Google Meet, Google Space, Data Studio, and Current. Maybe the thing we are the most using is actually Google Doc, and it is quite similar to what Microsoft Word is doing. But to be honest, me personally, I whenever I'm collaborating on any document, I prefer using a Google Doc before finalizing my work and submitting the latest version. The reason behind it, I'll try to share with you. Basically, the reason behind it, I'm opening here one of the Google Docs, and I find it very useful when you are co-working on a document, especially that we are using a Google Drive, is mainly two main features. The first one is the comments. You might set or put comments on your document, but what I really find useful here is that within the comment, you can assign the comment to a specific person, and this person will get a notification through its email. And not only this, but you can also assign a task within this and simply by assigning this, the person will get a notification and will know that he or she needs to revise one of the sections related to the document. And basically, the person can reply to your comment, and you can follow the thread through your email or through within the document itself. And once the task is completed, you simply mark it as done, and the comment is removed, and also the person is notified within its email that the comment is done. When we were working on NCAA self-study report, this was extremely useful for us. And it saved us a lot of time and effort. And when we were collecting some evidence, we were missing evidence, so we were assigned to each other a task like look for evidence, we think this is missing, and whatsoever. One other feature I really also find useful, and we used it a lot when we were working on the terms of reference within QMS, is suggesting the edit. If you right-click on the document, you can either edit, add a comment, or you can suggest an edit. But for instance, here, if the document is a live document, you can click on suggest edit, and basically whatever you will be typing, what will happen here is you're given a suggestion to whomever owns the document that you want to add or remove or delete, right? Like here, or delete. And you can see that the sections is not deleted, but it's struck down, right? And whatever you are typing is put in green. But then the user or whomever owns the document can either approve or reject your suggestion, or you can even add some comments, right? But when you are working on live documents, I found really this extremely useful. لأنه it does not change the document, but it allows you to share your idea, and if the person likes your document, simply will approve it, and voila, it's getting your document is getting updated. These are I find these are very useful features in Google Doc, especially that it is integrated with our email services as well as with our Google Drives. Maybe the only thing I might think of regarding Google Doc, a drawback, is that whenever I'm submitting a final document, like I'm working on a report, specific report within a specific format, and I'm submitting the final document, usually I go back to Microsoft Word. I found Microsoft Word richer in the final touches. Also, one of the drawback I'm still disappointed with Google Doc about is the possibility to alternate between portrait and landscape. It didn't allow me to handle this. Either I go with portrait or landscape, while in Google Doc you can in Microsoft Word you can use multiple sections and separate sections between each other. Up to recently, I was not able to do it with Google Doc. But to be honest, whenever it's related to collaboration and collaborative work, I found it extremely useful. Maybe one last thing I will share here about Google Doc, and actually I found it useful for my classes, which is the publishing. Let me show you one example. This is one of the lab sheets we worked on with Ms. Salma and Dr. Lasad. And basically, we can easily integrate this to any website or to our to our Blackboard. Google Doc allows you to use this feature here, publish a document to web, and basically now my Google Doc is published. It changes the document from being a Google Doc to be a published page, right? It is displayed now as a website or as a web page rather than a Google Doc. And I find this useful when I share my Google Sheets with my students. These are 2-3 features I wanted to share with you regarding Google Doc and how useful I found them when actually I was working on several projects these recent months. By the way, feel free to step in whenever you think you have any question or you have any good tip to share with us. Let me go to Google Sheet now. I worked a lot with Google Sheet. I always joke with my students. I'm telling them that I took my BS, my master's, and my PhD just to be able at the end to work with Google Doc and Google Sheet. I'm using it for the same reasons I'm using um, Google Doc is when you do any collaboration work, I find it more useful than than um, than Google Doc, than Excel. The problem with Excel is that sometimes you forget when you put in your files, and sometimes you work offline. Then the version you're working on is not published. But when you are working with your Google Sheet, you always know that it's on the cloud, and you always can track that which latest version you're working with. It has most of the features, the basic features Excel has. Maybe Excel is more advanced if you want to do more advanced analysis things. But overall, an average user uh, of Excel will be able to um, find in Google Sheet. One of the best features I found is the pivot table. This is the same thing you find in Excel, but I find it extremely useful. Let's say, for example, I have this sheet of training offered within planning and quality department. And out of this, I want to summarize my findings. I simply need to um, insert here a pivot table. It's asking me, am I considering everything? Yes. Then, just like Excel, you have your pivot table. What I'm looking for, let's say that I'm looking for counting the duration. I'm interested into counting the duration of activities with names. And I want to add here a filter related to timing. Here I can come and insert a slicer. A slicer is simply similar to a filter, but it's an interactive filter. Come on. But here I can come and choose. I'll be filtering based on what? I'll be filtering based on the date. Where is the date? Let me just go back to my sheet here. Yeah, execution. Execution. So here I'm interested only in the activities that took place this year. Date after, and here I'll put 1/1/2021. Enter. So here I filtered based on all the events I had only this year. But this is a quick way to play with your data. And مثلا, we found it very useful because we can share this with all our colleagues, and they can enter the data, and it's automatically updated for us. You can still do the same things we have seen in Google Sheet, in Google Doc. For instance, I can assign here a task to whomever I'm interested in, like please Caesar, can you upload your evidence, and he will get an email that he has to upload an evidence. And once he's done with it, he can notify me that it's done and automatically get a notification. One cool feature also is the chat. Whenever you are working on the document, you can, and collaborating with someone, you can chat and exchange ideas. Yes, you can track the activity, and you can go back to whatever version you are interested in, right? These are the main features I'm using. You can also publish on the web. You can protect the range. But let's say you own the sheet and you're not interested, you are interested in protecting some of the content. Like let's say, for instance, here, I don't want anyone to play with this. I can always come and protect. So I will set the permission here, and I will change this so only the sheet owner can play with this sheet. Otherwise, people have access to the remaining. But you can do a lot of things with it. You can also publish. And maybe the other thing I want to add here is these two things, the mail merger and the Google folder. But before doing this, you can always add add-ons, right? These two add-ons, for instance, I found very useful. This file cabinet, because when we were working on accreditation, we were collecting a lot of files of evidence, and we needed to create a catalog. And this was extremely useful because I can come here. I don't think it's a good idea that I'm working on this document. It's better that I start something new. Yeah, let's start something new here. You can add, you can get add-ons. Sometimes they are provided by Google themselves. Sometimes they are third party. Make sure that you are aware of what you are adding and the permissions you are allowing. But to be honest, I played a lot with this one, for instance. As I told you, yes, please. Yes, please. For this one, for instance, as I told you, it allowed me to create a lot of a catalog. So I simply pick a folder and let the script go on, and it automatically creates a list of files it will find with their hyperlink. We found this extremely useful when we were cataloging the evidence for the accreditation purpose. Another feature is the mail merger, and basically mail merger Google. Basically, Google provide you with the template. Where is it? Yes. Google provide you with the template with the script, and where is it? Yeah, here with the script. So basically, and I believe Abdelhamid is finding this extremely useful when he's periodically working on his scheduling tasks. Basically, you can prepare a table with customized emails, and just by a click of a button, you can send the emails to all the users, right? Without installing any add-on. This sheet and this script is prepared by Google themselves. Another one I found useful, and you can easily search for it, which is to create folders. When we were working on the some of our tasks, مثلا the annual program review, we needed to create submission folders for each of the program and for each of the department. Basically, you can create your folder structure in Google Sheet, and simply by running the script, it will create all the folders with the necessary structure, and actually duplicate it as much as you want, and provide you with the hyperlink for it. But this is the experience I have with Google Sheet. As I told you, I found it extremely useful. It does not have the all the advanced features of Excel, but for the average user, for most of my work, it did extremely well. Google Slide, I don't think there is anything I can add here in Google Slide. Maybe some of the features is the team builder. It allows you to build a team simply by creating here yeah, you can create a team, you can edit the team, and you can build a team. But more important is actually this. Let me show you something here. Let's say I take this. I just copy this sheet and I paste it here. And it is asking me whether I will link it or I will just paste it unlinked. The thing is that if I paste it linked, I don't need this. The good thing is that if I paste it linked, whenever I do any change here, I change this, I changed it. Whenever I do any change, by clicking on the update button, it will change. This is useful. This is really useful when you are working on your presentation and updating your data somewhere else. If I don't need to do the changes in both places, just do it one, and you simply update. You either update the connected objects one by one, or you can come here and see the linked objects and update all of them. By clicking here, you will update all the objects at once. Nothing else I'm thinking of in Google Slide. After Google Slide, I want to share with you this tool. I'm not a huge fan of I'm not a huge fan of presentation during the classes. And during my class, I rarely use PowerPoint or Google Slide. I prefer using the board. And when we were teaching online, I found this quite challenging. But the good thing is that Google offers a tool called a Jamboard. And basically, it is a whiteboard, and that allows you to do your write-up, to do your drawing, to do your writing, handwriting, and it has all the feature of a whiteboard, and then you can simply share it with your students. I used it extensively with my students during my classes, and basically I was creating repository and was sharing this with my students. I was combining this with recording session in Blackboard. So I was posting all the sessions once they were over to the students, and they were able to access the handouts directly or follow the recording. The good feature also is that it is also embedded with your Google Meet, but you can start a whiteboard. Like for instance, now in my presentation, I'm sharing with you, I'm starting a whiteboard feature. And basically, I don't know if you are getting it, but you might have got a link. And in this link, you will have the test of what I'm doing, right? I can either share with you this or share with you an existing board, right? But this is useful when you are sharing notes. I think the feature was already there in Zoom and WebEx, and Google Meet took benefit of this Jamboard and added it to its services. Let's go forward with another tool, which is Google Form, and I think you are familiar with it. Maybe one thing or two things I can add here is that you can consider Google Form as for your quizzes. It allows you to create a quiz and mark it, right? So basically, once you create your form, you can simply go to your settings and consider it as a quiz. Once you consider it as a quiz, it allows you to allocate a mark to each of the questions. Another feature here I really enjoyed in Google Forms is the pre-filled forms. Let me just open, for example, this one. This is one of the forms we worked on. And what you can do is get a pre-filled link. If you you can provide your users or the dictionaries with a pre-filled link. And basically, how you're gonna do this? Simply click on this button. It asks you to fill it. Fill my email at then option 3. Correct this. Nothing. And now get the link. Once you get the link, now let me show you something. Here, if you check this link here, it filled. It created the link, a customized link with some pre-filled information. Now, if you combine this with your Google Sheet, basically you can create customized links. You can create customized links. مثلا, let's say you have, did I open Google Sheet somewhere? Yes. Let me, for instance, put this link here, and I can break this link into chunks, and I will write some information here, and I simply use concatenate function. And concatenate function basically will take the hyperlink and concatenate it or add it with the cells I have here. But basically, I will have for all the users I'm interested in pre-filled links. So I can take these pre-filled links and use them with the mail merger, and then what I will have automatic emails sent to users with pre-filled links. Let's say, for instance, I'm working with Abdul Hamid, and Abdul Hamid is assigned me the task to send the courses teaching preferences to the faculty members with the preferences they set last year pre-filled for them. I already have, he will already provide me with the faculty members, their emails, the courses they have considered, and with the link of their course preferences. So I will use this with the mail merger. I will send to each one of our colleagues a customized link with the Google form pre-filled with the courses he has chosen. Last semester. He or she can always change, but this will minimize the effort required by the colleagues. How do we create a dashboard to show class progress? I will come to dashboards, and maybe we can elaborate more on the question you have, Engineer Arif. Google site. I found it extremely useful, to be honest. It's very easy to create one with Google, especially if you are like me, quite lazy, not that creative, and without any web development knowledge. Simply by clicking on Google site on your Google Drive, it allows you to, it provides you with templates. It allows you to create an empty one, and it allows you to do a lot of customization. I don't want to create a theme here. For instance, I have my website here. I want to create pages. I simply need here to add page, my web page, and it automatically create. I can change the image. I can select from existing ones, or I can add new ones. I can add text. I can add files. I can add images, and I can embed code. Let's say, for instance, I go back to my lab sheet here. I copy this lab sheet, and I want to add it to my display, my website. And now I have it displayed on my website. Okay, without doing any coding. Especially if you embed any of the Google services, it automatically recognizes it and it adds it. If you are embedding something different, people teaching 378 or 381 or 382 are more knowledgeable than me in this, but you can pick your HTML code and you can paste it here, and it will embed it in your website. But you have two ways to do it. For me, and I'm really ignorant in this portion. But if you are using any of the Google services, it automatically integrates to your activity here. With this, we have been able to to do a lot of good stuff, like for instance the PQD website, the QMS website. Maybe it's not for the open public, but at least for the community, it allows you to share a lot of things. And it also gives you the possibility to identify to whom you are sharing or to whom you are publishing. For example, if I restrict it to only our group, which is EDCI, anyone outside will not be able to access our website. You can add collaborators, ask people to come and help you into building the website, but this is quite useful. Maybe one feature here that is also useful is Google Analytics. Basically, Google Analytics is a tool made available by Google to track the activity within your website. And if you're starting an awareness campaign, you can track how useful is it. I can see here that under in PQD website, 3 people are currently connected. I can see that compared to last week, this week we have large activity, especially in the beginning of the week. And we can easily understand why this happened. It's because student affairs sent to all the students that the website, the Google academic calendar is available. So you can see here that we have a huge bounce in the activity within the website. I can also track, and I can here easily see that one of the most popular pages currently taking place is Google Calendar. People interested, especially people interested in marketing and marketing campaigns and e-business website, they will find this feature extremely useful. For me, it really sounds Greek, but I believe people specialized into this will find it extremely useful. This is what I have to say on Google website. Nothing else I find more useful, except that just go ahead and use it. It does not require huge web development knowledge. Google Meet, we are using it. I don't think I can add something here, except these 2 things. They added a recording feature. And once you complete the meeting, a link is automatically sent to all the people who attended the meeting with you, and they will have access to the recording. It also creates another thing, which is the a Google Doc of the chat. Whatever will be discussed in the chat in Google Meet, it will be recorded in a Google Doc and shared with all the users. One other feature also I am finding it extremely useful is the possibility to have instant meetings. Right? If you check here, without creating an event, you can come and start directly a meeting and send the invitation and join the meeting now. And it's not an activity that you will add to your Google Calendar, but it's a meeting that you will start and then invite people. I find it useful because you don't waste time adding an event on your calendar and sending an invitation. Now this feature here, and actually this feature is the reason why I thought of having this workshop. Google recently updated their services, and they added spaces and chat. Chat was already there. If you check its section here, you have a list of people you know, and you can simply by clicking you can initiate a discussion with the person, right? This feature was there, but the feature I'm really enjoying these days, and the people I'm working with are not necessarily enjoying, is the spaces. Google added this feature here to create spaces. And basically what you are doing is that you are creating a room or a space. And within this room, you can invite people. and you can collaborate with people. Let's say here I will add my test. Create a space, my test, and I can invite people. For instance, here I will have Rafi, I will have who is here? Lasad, and I will have yes, I believe it's here. I can see, I can add Arif. Who else is here? Vague. I see Dr. Suzanne around. I see anyway. Yasser. I see Berdir. Then use threads, and this is actually the reason why I created this. And you can allow people that are not within us to join. But once you create this, it offers you a space where you can discuss with your team. To be honest, I'm using it a lot with my planning department team, and here I can assign tasks. Here, for instance, I can say, come here, assign task, say hello, please send hello message in meeting chat section, and I will assign the time, assign a day here, and I will assign this to Dr. Muhammad Al-Asad Qawba. By clicking here, Dr. Al-Asad received the notification that I assigned him this task. Once I can see the task that is completed, and Dr. Al-Asad, you have not yet said hello in the chat section in meeting, but once you do it, I can mark it as completed. I can open it again if it's not completed, and it allows you also to open a discussion, create a thread. But here, Dr. Asad, for testing purposes, please collaborate, right? And I can also notify people the same way we were notifying people. So that please, Doctor, ask Dr. Asad to collaborate, right? And you can group your discussion with threads. Like, for example, you are working on one of the tasks, you create a thread. You are working on another task, you can thread. You can add images, you can add files, you can add a meeting with the people who are here. You can add it to a calendar. I really find this feature extremely useful, especially that we are doing a lot of work remotely. What can I add here? Yeah, threads and task assignments. Once you complete, you just close the task, and that's it. What we can add here, Data Studio. And Google allows you to have access to one of its services, that is Data Studio. And I think we discussed this previously. For those who attended, you can go back to the presentation we made a few weeks back about this. I think 2-3 weeks back. But maybe what I can add here is that you can link it with your Google, with your Google Sheet, and you can do, I want one, yeah, this one, for instance. You can share it, but once you share it, what you can do here, this is the thing I was sharing with you earlier, is that you don't need to embed it. Simply by copying and pasting the link you have shared, you can add it to your website. and then it keeps its interactivity within your website. Like I believe today you have received an email about a dashboard feature that has been added to PQD, and the dashboard will be interactive on your website itself. This is the integration between Google Data Studio and your Google website. For instance, here I'm interested only in seeing what YUCM did for the student satisfaction survey. I can have here the score collected from YUC students regarding the facilities, the e-learning, and the student service, right? This integration, I find it extremely useful. You have much better tools outside to deal with dashboards and having more advanced features. But the integration between Google Sites, Google Doc, Google Sheet, Data Studio, Google Slides, this is where I think we can get a lot of power out of it, and especially that it's extremely useful, user-friendly to start working with. This is the last thing I'll be discussing here, which is Google Current. Maybe this is the thing that is the most, the least popular and the least known. Actually, Google Workplace has a social media platform, a social platform that is Google Current. You can access it from here, and it's just similar to any social media. You do your posting, you can add tags, you can join communities, create communities, update your profile, choose the best picture you have ever, have friends, follow friends. Here, for instance, I'm really interested in what Bilal is doing. If I would follow Bilal, I would follow Nasser. Suhaib, maybe next time I'll follow you. And you will have their posting. You can add posts, you can add pictures, you can add tags. I'm not sure, maybe you can, I'm not sure, but I believe you can always embed it in your website. Yes. No, it doesn't. It seems not. Anyway, but this is what I wanted to share with you. This is the experience I had with Google services. I found them extremely useful for the day-to-day business. Maybe if you're looking for more advanced features, you will go to more specialized tools. But to be honest, for the day-to-day business, for me, it really get the job done, and very quickly, very easily, without a lot of effort, and with an extremely fast learning curve. This is what I wanted to share with you. And please, if you have any comment, if you want to share with us any tip, if you have any question, feel free. How can we access the recording? Yes, once you complete, once I will stop the, once I will complete the, when we complete the meeting, the session, or simply by clicking on, let me show you. Simply by clicking here, I can stop the recording. Once I stop the recording, it will automatically create a copy on my Google Drive and send it to all of you. Send it to all the users. Basically, it's a file. Basically, it's a file that will be created on your Google Drive. Later on, if you are mean, you can always stop the access from the people. Yeah. Any other question? Dr. Al-Assad, do you have a question? Dr. Al-Assad seems
Thank you, Dr. الله
Yeah,
يعطيك العافية.
Allah yafi. Mr. Rafi, that Spaces has an option to send messages individually on need of basis. I'm not sure. I'm not sure because a space is basically the way they see it is an environment when you have people collaborating. You can assign tasks like this in your space. You can assign tasks to people. Let's here say here I add. Sorry. Okay. So I can ask a task to you. Sending you a message, I'm not sure. I think I simply need to send you an email. And also, what I found is that it does not it does not change the thread you have here into emails. It keeps them separate. I've seen another feature that is Google Keep. Yeah, Google Keep, I believe, that can allow you to change your emails into tasks. This one here, Keep. There is a lot of similarities between both, but I think the way they consider this is notes and tasks you give to yourself, while here these are tasks you share to people. But to be honest, I'm not sure. I believe you have a feature to. No, you don't have it. Or you simply assign tasks, and you can add files and share them with people. But I believe the way they see it is that if you want to communicate with someone, you can use the chat feature rather than the space feature. Yes, Vida. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You can add people to your things to do in Keep. Yeah. The way I see it is that Spaces is more like an open space, a virtual open space, where you share information, tasks, progress with your team. And Keep maybe is more like sticky notes you put on your personal board and make sure you're taken care of.
But Adnan, for Spaces, that means you have to keep on checking it, right, for updates.
No, it is. By the way, it's very invasive. If you have your email on your phone, it sends you a notification, just like if someone is sending you a WhatsApp message. Also, it pops. If someone sends me a message, like let me do something here. Let me show you something. I don't know if you can see here, but I used my planning department account and I sent myself a message. It pops. It sends me a sound notification and it pops. It asks you whether you want it to pop or no. When you set it, you can control the notification, but it pops and it sends a sound notification. Yeah. If you have it on your phone, it will also send you a phone notification. By the way, you can disable it if you want. There is something I didn't mention here. In your Google website, let's say you are in charge. I believe Dr. Lasad at one time was in charge of a group. Yeah, if let's say you have a group, and like for instance this one, and you can take, yeah, this is the feature, right? You can take the group email and you can add it in your Google website. You should be careful doing this because not all the emails are worth to be published. Like if it's a group email where مثلا you're answering that is considered a forum discussion, but you can add it, by the way, to your website. It will look like any other forum. But this is extremely useful if you have a group and you're exchanging the discussion within the group and you want this to be posted in the website, just like the forums of any institution where people can later on dig within the emails and track discussion. But Google site allows you to have the this embedded in your website if you are interested in. Any other comment? Thank you, Dr. Iman. I'm done from my side. You can find I shared with you the slides and also the registration form. And also if you can leave a comment on whether you have liked this presentation or no, so we can better improve the service next time. Thank you very much for attending, and let's hope to see you soon, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.